Welcome to the Casually Fit Podcast with your host, Nicole.
And David. We're just your regular guy.
And gal here to talk to you about everything health, fitness, and overall life balance.
Because health looks different on everyone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Casually Fit Podcast.
Yeah, welcome back.
It's your girl, Nicole.
And David.
So there's a couple changes. Okay, first of all, we have to say a little apology for taking an impromptu couple months break.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Oh, 4 months.
4 months, but
That's bad.
we kind of had no choice.
Yeah, so we're going to get into it in this episode a little bit. We have gone through quite a bit in the past couple months, and I think originally in our last podcast, we said that we were going to maybe take a little bit of a break because you were leaving for work.
Yeah.
But that ended up just being longer, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it was kind of hard to kind of record, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was gone like 3 weeks and then back for a week.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like so much going on there.
It was a lot in the past couple months, which we are going to get into this episode. We just want to talk about how our lives have been, kind of catch you guys up and share how we've been dealing with just everything. And also, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, it's a little different. You guys don't see us because as we get into this episode, I have a lot on my plate right now, and I do all my social media and I do the editing for this podcast. So I haven't had a lot of time. So not filming it takes out a lot more editing time. Like, it's not as long for me to edit if I don't add in the video. So we're going to see how it goes. And we're not saying that we're editing out the video forever.
Just for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being.
Till we get back on track.
Yes. And then we will. But also, I'm hoping that the audio of this podcast is okay because we have to film in the gym. So if you don't know, or you don't follow me on social media, not everyone on here does. If you don't know, we have a house and we have a garage that we transformed into an at-home gym, COVID and everything. And where we usually record on the couch is directly underneath our son's bedroom cove. Yeah. And every time we record there, he wakes up and he starts crying. So it never really works out.
Like it used to be all right, but now he's kind of like weird with his sleep. So.
Yeah, we're going through a phase right now. So just for the time being, we're recording in the gym, and I'm a little worried there's a bit of an echo. So I do apologize if you hear like background noises or echoey. Hopefully it'll all be good. Yeah. Everything sounds good, right? When you're listening to this, let's hope.
I hope so. But anyway. So welcome to our gym sessions.
Our gym session
gym podcast session.
Yeah. But as we usually do, we're not going to talk about our week because we're pretty much going to catch you guys up on the past couple months. However, we always do a recommendation at the beginning about the podcast. So Dave, do you want to share your recommendation?
Yeah. So my recommendation is actually an app that I kind of used from like the whole time I was kind of gone for work. So it's Nick Bare's training app, which is BPN training. That's what the app is called. And it kind of has different kind of workouts. It's more focused on like running, I guess, because, well, not just running, but you have like, I think three to four gym sessions with runs included during the week. So it's like it's about a 5-day program. So I enjoyed it.
That's good.
It kind of kept me kind of on track and yeah, kind of not having to think too much about what I wanted to work out.
Good.
What is your recommendation?
Okay. This isn't starting off too hot because honestly, I'm drawing a blank. I don't have a recommendation. I can't think of anything right now. I literally was like, I have a list of recommendations on my computer, which we're recording on right now, which I can't really have, I don't have access to it right now. So I'm sitting here trying to think when you were talking. I was like, shit, what the hell do I recommend? What is something that we've done recently?
The series.
What series?
Yellowstone.
No, that's your recommendation.
I know. but I was giving you
Okay,
mine.
fine. Okay, thank you for giving me your recommendation. Okay, so this is a recommendation from both David and I'm not into this type of TV show kind of style stuff, but we just finished watching Yellowstone. Well, we didn't just finish. It's been a while, but we watched Yellowstone like currently, and then the 1923 and the 1883 and 1923.
Yeah.
1883, fucking sad. I cried like a baby. And 1923, I don't know, left too many things unfinished. But I really like it, honestly, for someone who isn't a country rodeo western kind of gal. It's not bad. It's not bad, honestly. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
So with that being said, let's get into talking about how the past couple months have gone. So I think we finished our last episode was in January, and then you left on your first part of your work trip.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I'll talk about my journey, I guess, but do you want to talk a little bit about how you kind of work through things first, I guess? Do you want to touch on that?
Sure. So, like, for my work, I have to travel, like, to build, like, a machine from, like, A to Z. So, I'm, like, gone sometimes. Like, this machine, it was, like, about 12 weeks.
Yeah.
12 weeks total about. So, I ended up doing, like, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So, I'm, like, back for, like, a week in between those.
Yeah, sometimes it changes, though. It's, like,
Yeah.
it's hard to predict.
It is very hard to predict. But yeah, so since February till about, I don't know, end of April, that's when I was gone. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of hotel stays. So I had to kind of try and stay eating clean, I guess,
It's hard.
which is very hard because I'm not the only one there. So like we were kind of a little like group of people. So when everyone's like, oh, going to the restaurant, kind of drinking beer, doing all that, you kind of have to stay on track by yourself.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard, but hey,
It's also, you don't have...
I managed.
Yeah, but you also don't have access to a kitchen, like a full
No.
kitchen. It's...
I had a microwave and a mini fridge, like legit.
Oh my God.
So I ate a lot of like chopped salads.
Which
and-
are good, I guess. After a
and-
while, no.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, honestly, I was getting sick of it. And a lot of like, probably not the best, but it's like, like it was like, I think like Beyond Meat poppers that I would microwave in the microwave and then stick in my salads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's something. I mean, you did go out to the restaurant a couple times,
Yeah.
which isn't bad. You tried to not
Limit.
eat burger and fries every night.
No, that's it. Tried to limit it and eat as clean as I possibly could. But sometimes you kind of got to deal with what you got.
Yeah. And you tried to go to the gym as much as you could, which you
Yeah.
just said you did
Well, that's it. So I did the BPN training
Yeah.
app. So
Which is a little bit different than what you normally
it is
do.
because normally I'm like CrossFit, going CrossFit gym, kind of like not really global gym anymore. But this time I kind of had no choice because CrossFit was like hella expensive.
Yeah.
That was my issue because
Yeah.
like usually I would have went to like a CrossFit gym. But like I think CrossFit was like almost $200 a month. So I did not want to like spend that because it comes out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, but ended up finding like a really nice gym that had everything I needed. I could honestly, I was able to do weight lifts still in that gym.
Yeah. You did some Olympic lifts.
Yeah, like I started off a bit with like Olympic weightlifting
Yeah.
and whatnot, but then found this app and just followed it. Like there was like back and like it was all like the different splits.
Yeah.
So-
Like a typical bodybuilding split kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which honestly isn't bad, especially when you do CrossFit. You want to sometimes work on those accessory movements.
Yeah, well,
Or
honestly,
those
like
you know, bench press or like
I did
strict
more bench press in those like 2.5 months than I did in the last 4 years. So
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Maintained, got a bit stronger, but honestly, I must say I did not kind of miss the global gym scene because
Yeah.
at the time I went, honestly.
Okay, we're not trying to bash everyone, but
No, but it's more like you kind of like, I remember that, I guess that's how it was back when I used to go.
yeah,
But it was like insane. Like it's just little like
gym bros.
gym bros, kind of little douchebags, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, they're like 15, 16 working out, like working biceps.
Good for them, but yes,
Well, yeah.
of course, any boy that works out at the age isn't really doing it like the best, I guess. But
No, but you could see that they thought they were like the king shit there. But
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
but I was just doing my own thing.
As long as you're doing your own thing, and that's all that
Yeah.
matters.
But it was honestly interesting experience. Mm-hmm. It was nice though. Like it was kind of like a refresh, and then
Something a little different.
yeah, that's like the cool part.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to change it up a little bit.
Nope, it does not. Sometimes change is good.
Yeah, that's good. So you pretty much just did that. You were gone for a long time, and you worked long days, and then you kind of went to the gym when you could. I mean, you were working Monday to Saturday.
Yeah. So yeah, my shifts were like, what I did like 7 a.m. would finish around 5 p.m. Then go to the gym around about 7 o'clock at night for about an hour and a half. So honestly, just did not give me much time to kind of just chill.
Which,
Like,
I mean,
I
do
would
you
chill
really wanna-
Sundays.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's pretty boring, no?
Well, yeah, it's pretty boring because honestly, you're not home. You're stuck in a hotel room. What? I'm just gonna watch Netflix,
Yeah.
eat chips, pretty much. 'Cause
Well,
that's what pretty much ends up
Isn't
doing.
that nice?
Yeah.
You should not be complaining about chilling and
no.
spending time chilling. Yeah, so I guess I'll get into a little bit of like me for the past couple months, because I feel like, well, I sound, honestly, you did pretty good. You maintained really good. Me, on the other hand, not so great. It was not so hot, and I think that like I really wanted to try and record some podcasts, like solo episodes, but it didn't turn out.
I think you're surviving.
It was trying to keep my head above the water. That's what I was trying to do. And it was hard. So I was solo parenting. He's 1 year old now, which is crazy to think about. We celebrated his birthday at the end of February.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was winter here, which I find that the past couple years, past 3 years, I've really struggled with seasonal depression, which I find I'm a bit surprised because I feel like I've never dealt with it until the past 3 years have been really rough.
Well, I think with COVID and isolation, just everything, it's really made
was
us
hard.
Yeah, because you can't really leave. It's It's fucking cold outside.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we haven't gone skiing or done anything like that in years, which sucks to say, because I find sometimes it helps, or even then taking vacation in the winter. I don't know.
It splits it up.
I hate sounding privileged like that, but yeah, it just, sometimes it's really hard, and seasonal depression hits me quite hard when it comes to January, end of January, February, and we had a very long, like, it took a long time for winter to go away. Some years spring comes really quick, but this year it was just dragging on. Even we're almost at the end of May, and it's like
It's still cold.
So-
like we're in jackets still. And like, what the
gosh.
fuck is that?
I know, it's like really weird. Like usually it's pretty warm. Like it is warm, but it's also like we're still having frost, which is possible in May, but doesn't happen that often.
But one thing, like I was in Memphis for work, so in like Tennessee, but closer to Mississippi, and in like what was it, like April, I was hitting like 30-degree weather, and humidity. So like I find my spring kind of came a bit faster, but then I came back here and I was like,
it's cold.
What is this? I'm like frozen.
Yeah.
So I kind of got hit with a sense of reality again.
Yeah. So when he was gone, it was cold as hell, and it was like hard to, I guess, I wanted to like get out of the house as much as I could, do activities with Cove, because solo parenting is just hard, and I don't want to stay at home inside watching TV, trying to play with him. Like that's long and boring. And we would try and like go out. I would go see my mom on her lunch break, or I would go
Starbucks.
go try and go for a walk. If it was warm enough out, I'd try and like bundle us up so we could go for a walk. But it was hard because it was like as soon as I wake up, I'm with coat. Like I have like maybe an hour if I'm lucky. And at that time when you first left, I was still pumping and breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So that,
And he wasn't sleeping until 7.
no, that's it. So I was pumping, I was breastfeeding. So I was spending my time doing that when I would wake up at 5 a.m. And then I would maybe have 10, 15 minutes before he woke up. Then he would be awake. And then we were still doing 2 naps. So he would stay awake for a couple hours, or a couple hours, 3-4 hours, put him down. I would try and get, as soon as he went down, I would try and get as much work as I could get done in like 45 minutes to an hour. So it was like I would jump on my computer, jump on my phone, try and edit, do something, which wasn't very much time. And then I would go and get him. He would wake up. We would try and do something together, try and fill our day with something, and then get back home or whatever we did, put him down for a second nap, try and work as fast as I could, as much as I could when he was napping. He'd wake up, and then it was like the witching hour from when he would wake up in the afternoon till when he went to bed. It was like really hard to make suppers with him because he like wanted to be on me, or he like wanted to have attention or things like that. And it's really hard to just cook a decent meal. So it would always be like really quick meals. When you came home, I would try and meal prep a little bit to just kind of have some meals easy, ready to go. But
I still remember when like I would finish, because I was like an hour behind.
Yeah, behind.
Yeah, it was an hour behind. So like I would finish at 5, so it was like 6 for you.
Yeah.
And I know that every time you were like, fuck yeah, like can't wait, because at least it's gonna kind of like change up a bit of stuff.
It was nice when you would FaceTime, because it would help kind of like distract a little bit kind of thing. And it was just like, and then he would go down at like 7:15, and then when he went down, I would pump for like an hour, and then I pretty much went to bed. I go to bed early because I want to be not exhausted. So it was just
because the next day you're up at 5 again.
Exactly. So those were my days, like a day where I barely had time to just breathe. If I was lucky, and if I was ahead on work, which most of the time it was like after you just left, I would be able to fit in maybe a little bit of a workout.
But you had to be quiet when you worked out. I had to be
quiet, yes. So I would have to kind of like, I couldn't drop weights. I couldn't lift heavy weights. I did pretty much just body weight stuff, a little bit of dumbbell stuff. But very often I honestly didn't feel like working out because I was honestly depressed and not feeling great, struggling with my mental health so much. So it was like, I don't even want to move, but then also trying to catch up on work, and work just felt like it kept like going. Like I just felt like
it was just piling up.
Yes. And that's why I couldn't do anything for the podcast, because I felt like I could never get ahead. So that being said, I really struggled a lot with my mental health, and this is honestly why we did the Casually Fit podcast, because we aren't athletes. We're not people who dedicate our entire days to working out like most fitness influencers. It would be nice. I would love that. But we are regular people who have jobs, have a kid, have life, and we need to try and balance these things. And it's fucking hard sometimes. And you know what? Sometimes, life gets the best of us. Our mental health struggles, and we have to make changes. Like you made changes to what you were doing and adapted it. You know, some days you didn't work out because you had a long day, or you were just tired. And myself, I couldn't get a workout in, or maybe I could. It was rough. And I mean, like, my hat, every time I say this, goes off to anyone who does solo parenting or single parenting. Like, it's so fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. And I just struggled a lot with my mental health during that time. So I really dealt with a lot of emotional eating, which I've touched on my like Instagram a little bit, just because
I think the worst part was the first 3 weeks.
Yes.
That was the hardest.
The first one and the last bit, because I felt like the last bit was like, finally we're at the end. Yeah. I was like, we're at the end. Let's do this. But yeah, like I really struggled with emotional eating. I touched on this in my Instagram, I think, and my TikTok, but yeah, I just like the first bit, I was just emotional eating nonstop. I was like trying to find chips, cookies, like things that would just bring me some sort of comfort. I've dealt with emotional eating in the past, which I recognize it, and I kind of get through it, and it's something I need to work through. But sometimes it's really fucking hard to work through when you're just dealing with so many other emotions, trying to be a parent, like all these things. But eventually we just got through it, but it was hard. And like you said, the first 3 weeks were an adjustment. But once we get into routine, I guess we manage. But it's hard to not have, like, when you come home, just someone even to talk to. Some parent, like not parent, but some adult to talk to when you're stuck talking to your 1-year-old all day. That's exhausting too. It's hard to explain, but it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And just dealing with that. The first 3 weeks were rough. In between wasn't too bad, but then the last 3 weeks were hell on earth. I must say they were pretty rough. I did try and my mental health was doing a lot better the last 3 weeks though, I must say. So it did help with a lot of my emotional eating. I was able to move my body more because it was warmer out, so I could go for a run some days, which helped a lot. But honestly, at one point though, Cove and I were both sick, right? As soon as you left, Cove and I both got sick. So that was hard. And then Cove was also cutting a molar, which, oh my God, molar cutting. Nobody warns you about how bad that is.
Oh God.
We're currently right now dealing with the next molar coming in, which has been a whole other adjustment. But that being said, it was rough for me, but we got through it. I got through it. I did have help from my mother. Your dad would come by and visit and help a little bit so I could cook supper. It was nice to have family to help. I do appreciate that. But we're okay in the end. I really worked through it. I tried to work through meditation and journaling. That helped me a lot with my mental health.
But you did also stop pumping.
I did.
Which helped a lot.
Yeah. So the last 3 weeks that you were gone, I stopped pumping, which gave me so much more time. And now we're getting into a good schedule right now, so it feels really good. And I feel like I'm finally seeing a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel.
You're kind of floating above the water right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's kind of helping.
Yeah. I feel like I can manage. And I mean, I obviously have your help now, which helps a lot.
Yeah. Even though I still go to work and stuff, but I'm still home.
You're home in the evenings, which helps me so that I can either work out or I can get some work done, whatever I need to do. And then also on top of that, I dealt with a herniated disc too. Well, twice. Well, I didn't really recover the first time.
No, but I think the first 3 weeks I left, didn't you hurt your back a week before?
I don't know.
There was something. Or the week I came home, your back was like shit at one point. I know you heard it.
Yeah, I heard it the week you came home.
Yeah.
It was the CrossFit
for Cole's
Open.
birthday.
No, I heard it the day that we were trying to do the last workout at the CrossFit Open. Remember, I was sitting and then I couldn't stand up.
You were so disappointed because you really wanted to do it.
I tried so hard. It was like the handstand walk one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to the gym and I was trying to move and it was getting worse and worse. I had a herniated disc in 2018, I think. 2019. I herniated my disc really bad to the point where I literally could not walk. It was bad.
We were also a week out of flying to Hawaii.
That was worst thing ever. And anyway, so I've dealt with a herniated disc before, so I kind of recognized it. At first I was like, maybe it's a pinched nerve. Then it started getting worse. Anyways, thank God you were home that week because I was flat out for that week. I could barely get out of bed. It was so bad.
Yep.
But then, so I dealt with that. Trying to come back from that was hard as well because I had to do a lot of rehab and it takes time because there's like an inflammation in your back. So I was trying to rehab that. And then I started getting into a groove of things and it was feeling good. But then the week before you came home, was it that I bent over to pick up Cove?
Oh yeah.
And I felt a pinch in my back and then it started getting worse. Shit. And I was like, here we fucking go again. It wasn't as bad, but I'm still recovering from it a little bit because it was just kind of like on and off. And I wasn't like, I realized the things that I was doing that was aggravating it. That's the word that I was thinking.
And it's still like kind of flaring up.
Yeah. I took a whole week off because we went on vacation. So I took a flat out week off. It was hard, but I took a week off, which helped a lot. And then I've been working with my physiotherapist now again to try and just work through it. And I think we'll be good. I was doing all the right things anyways. but we'll see how that turns out. But
Yeah.
that being said, yeah, I dealt with that injury too. It just like, you know what? It sounds like I was just dealing with a lot of fucking shit, which I was. And it was just one thing after another. It was just like a punch to the face several times for me. It was just rough.
It was a shit winter. Let's just say that's what it was.
It was a shit end of the winter. And
Yeah.
I'm really hoping things are going to turn around for me.
I think they are.
I think so
The
too.
spring's
Hey,
here.
if you guys are into like astrology right now, like they say like luck is changing for Aquarius, Leo,
I think
Sagittarius,
Taurus.
and Taurus, which I'm an Aquarius, so maybe things are turning around for me, baby.
I'm hoping.
I really hope so. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much what the past couple months are for me. Is there anything you want to add in there, David? Or are you pretty much Gucci? Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you did that you would like to touch on that happened in the past?
What did I do? I didn't really do that much, honestly.
You pretty much just worked
I
and then
worked,
worked out and that was it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, but like, yeah, no, that's all I did. I worked and traveled to
Yeah.
Memphis, pretty much.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you? I think did you talk about your crystals that you did? No?
That I'm selling?
Yeah.
Well, I think I've talked about this on the podcast. I'm also selling more crystals, but yeah, I'm a weird hippie person if you're not into that. But yeah. But other than that, life's been good
Honestly,
recently.
Yeah, it's been very good.
It's been good. I'm happy with it. So yeah, we just wanted to kind of update you guys a little bit of what things were going on, and we'll definitely get into more topics in the next
And more of a
upcoming weeks.
groove
Yes.
into it, because like we're coming back and like being like, oh shit, how do we podcast? How do we do
know.
shit?
We had to like,
And
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
maybe
all
we'll
changing.
hopefully it's not too crappy to film in the garage.
I hope so. I hope this all turned out
Because
that we don't
maybe
have to
we'll
re-record
have
this.
to kind of set up a little podcast station in here.
Little nook in the corner.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll get into more topics in the upcoming weeks, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Or what am I doing? I'm doing my YouTube exit. Sorry, guys. Well, if you guys are on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Also, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, whatever those things are.
Yeah,
all
I
the
guess like it, rate it,
rate it.
5-star, comment.
If you guys can, give us a rating. It would be really great. And
Share it.
Follow us, share it, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can follow us on Instagram too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.